let's talk about holidays. So we all know we got Christmas coming up, and but this is more of a general video when it comes to holidays in general, right? And how we can better prepare ourselves and come into these days with a more balanced mindset. Because the last thing we want to do is be over obsessive or restrictive or like feeling guilt and shame or feeling like all our wins are going to shit from these times, right? When these times are meant to be enjoyed and meant to be like where you get to kick back and relax from work, even if you're not close to your family. Again, you ain't working, so it's a really great time to just like, it's like vacations, and I do want to say for those that are going through a very rough winter season, or a rough time around festivities, your emotions are also valid, just because you might feel like the whole world is in bliss, that does not mean you have to feel that way, because you also are, you have your own unique experience, and I just wanted to say that, because yeah. But anyway, that's another topic. But going back to what we were talking about, um, so yeah, so we're gonna talk about food and family and things that could come up and things like that, and ways that we can better go into these festivities with more ease. Okay, so for one, I totally agree with Jazzy because this is something that I do myself, but um, sticking with your routine and just doing what you've been doing. If you're somebody that's already been consistent and you've been taking care of your eating and stuff like that, just keep doing what you're doing. Don't see holidays as something that's like a huge. I'm not gonna say a big deal, but you know what I mean. Like it's not gonna shift. Just because there's a holiday coming up, it's not gonna necessarily like change your routine and schedule. Just keep doing what you're doing. Learn how to detach from your family, sometimes, or the moments, in order to take care of yourself, like prioritizing yourself first, especially if you're somebody that's a people pleaser. It's super important. This could be a really great time for you to test yourself and to not allow the distractions. I'm not gonna say, but our family are distractions, but they are too, to get in the way of your goals or what you got to get done. A lot of times it's because it's like, oh my gosh, like I don't want to be rude, or, or da 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 da. But this is a really great time to put yourself first, and this goes into the food, which we'll talk about later. But making sure that you're not people pleasing and that you're putting yourself first. If your family is going to be in town way sooner than just for 2 days or longer than that, and I say 2 days because of Christmas Eve and Christmas, and so. But again, this applies to all holidays. So yeah, so that's one way you can see it. Just continue doing what you've been doing. Just see these times as just like, oh, cool, like, it's great, but I'm still like staying like tunnel vision, so that's one perspective you can have. Another perspective is also to involve, or this is also what Jazzy did too, like, and I do too, just when I have friends over in general, like, and they're staying a while with me, it's just like, do you want to go work out? Like, invite them, take your mom to the gym, take your family and cousins, ask them if they would like to work out with you, or if they would like to cook with you. Like, hey, like I got this vegan thing going on. Like, do you want to cook with me? Or, hey, are you interested in this food I'm making? Like, making it a very making it an involved like routine. Like, I don't even know if that makes sense, but involving your loved ones in your routines actually can really help and be beneficial, and it could be a really great way to spend time together as well. So you can do that as well. But another thing you can definitely do is even shift your workouts as well. Shift them as needed. So let's say you haven't seen your family in a long time, and you're like, whoa, but I don't really want to spend an hour at the gym, like, and they're here for a week, and I really want to enjoy that time, then and if they don't really want to work out and stuff like that, just you can also shorten your workouts. You can get a badass workout in under 30 minutes, guys, like 30 minutes tops, under that too. So adjusting your workouts around them, if that's something you feel called to do, is perfectly fine. Just making sure that you're still kicking ass no matter what, but it doesn't have, you can shift your workouts around your schedule. This is like time blocking. You can definitely watch that video or ask us to send you it, but it's on our YouTube channel. So you can like use a time blocking schedule to time block, your week or the time they'll be around. and do your best to stick with it. Of course, again, always, always, always be adaptable. But yeah. Or, if you're busy preparing things and stuff, and it's just like, oh gosh, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get my workout in, and like making sure that, okay, well, let me at least go take a walk after we eat dinner, and let me again invite my cousin, see who wants to come with me, my mom, my dad, like, um, and that could be really fun too, especially if they're there for a longer time, like things you can do together, like we can go bike ride. It doesn't have to be like just lifting weights and all of this other shit. It could definitely be just keep an open mind. You know what I mean? I hope all of this is making you realize like you can just expand in so many directions when it comes to this. As long as you're not just like sitting there not doing anything for a whole week, which again, if you've been super like kicking ass and like super working hard, then go, by all means, go ahead and do that if you feel called to as well. Like, just it's just good for everybody to stay walking at least. At least in my parties too, like my family parties, we dance, so that's always really great. Like when we do have big family parties for events, we end up dancing. So dance your ass off, burn them calories like that, build that muscle like that, by having fun, finding creative ways to just stay active while you have guests over, or and that's again if you have guests over, and if not, then just do what you've been doing, or just work on consistency and stuff. Which also brings me to another point is um prioritizing, just like, okay, well, actually, I don't want to work out this weekend. I actually want to make sure that I'm just focused on enjoying myself and relaxing. Then make sure that you're consistent, and you are following through with your words prior to those days. So, for an example, Christmas Eve is on Friday, so many of us celebrate on that day. So, making sure that, again, from Monday through Thursday, that you don't mess with your workouts, and that that you eat healthy, and that way you can enjoy yourself on the weekends, unless again you have some kind of restrictive binge eating disorder or tendencies. I don't want to say disorder, but just behaviors. Then again, this is why it's like we work with you guys on a one-on-one, and just consistently making sure that we are checking in with our mental state, because if you do have conditions like this, or just like behaviors or thought patterns like this, or these times can definitely feel way more harder than just like, oh, okay, whatever, like I'm just gonna do this and then enjoy it later, because we will have to make sure we're not harming ourselves in the process. So that is where I would try not to do that, to where it's just like, okay, these days are gonna be perfect, these days I'm gonna like just let it all go. We still want to be responsible and hold ourselves accountable, and we know ourselves for the most part. So knowing that, okay, I know if I do this, so then that might more than likely will happen, and I don't want that to happen, because that makes me go into guilt trips and feeling like shit. So, yeah. So just be aware of that. But again, if you do have these tendencies and behaviors to restrict and stuff like that, for one, like if there's somebody in your family that you feel like you can trust, please open up to them and let them know what you're dealing with and what you're going through. I think it'll make you feel way more at peace and comfortable to, or just have some accountability, or somebody there that can help you, whenever you start to feel these types of things. Again, if there are times where you can't get closer to your family, I highly recommend that. But if not, I feel like I feel like sometimes I get done after running. I mean, I get done running like 3 miles, but it's really because I'm just pregnant. I'm like catching my breath. But if you do have these behaviors, my loves, this is like a whole nother topic, and it's deeper than that. But just again, making sure that you're eating slow. Okay, we'll get to the food. Actually, let's move on to the food. I think we talked enough about the workouts and stuff. So I need to double check with my mind. So yeah, being adaptable, inviting people to come work out with you. If you work out on the weekends, again, just making them shifts. Just so you can squeeze in those workouts prior to those days. If again, just it really just depends on your intention, how you want to enjoy your time, um, and there's no right or wrong because some people are like, you know what, I'd rather get my workout in that day. It doesn't really matter. I think I feel more comfortable if I work out that AM prior to dinner, or lunch, or just to start my day off with the workout. That way I feel just more better about myself, then that's also great. Like, get a good ass workout in so when you do eat, you feel like you're fueling yourself and it just doesn't feel like it's sitting there, even though it's genuinely not, even if you don't work out that day. But our minds have a tendency to, you know, think silly thoughts. So you can do that as well, guys. But yeah, so coming on to the food, right? Getting into the food and the eating. So if you have restrictive tendencies and just like overindulgence tendencies, um, just again, either sharing that with somebody you love and trust that can help you stay accountable and just more aware, self-aware of things, of how you're being and stuff like that. But if not, just making sure you're eating slow. Okay, making sure you're really taking the time to eat your food, taking the time to, again, these are really great times to not be on your phone and not be watching something. Talk to your loved ones, take time to like chew your food and listen to the conversations, if they're worth hearing, right? And yeah, and just making sure you're drinking your water before and after your meals. I don't really recommend drinking them while you're eating, but that's more Chinese medicine. If you're interested, I'll let you know more about that in detail. Just like it's better sometimes because it doesn't get in the way of the enzymes and the acids that are needed to break down your food. So, but also a lot of the reasons why we can't digest food is because we're just not in rest and digest mode anyway. So, addressing the things that make you feel stressed out, making sure that before you eat, you're not feeling stressed out or anxious, or just make sure you're calming down, before you get onto the dinner table. And if eating around others does bring you anxiety and things like that, like making sure that you're setting your boundaries, which I will get to more about the more psychological stuff when it comes to family events and gatherings and things like that. But drawing your boundaries with even like your food as well. Like if you feel better eating on your own time, again, just kind of doing your own thing anyway, even if everybody's eating at a certain time, don't feel afraid to break away and be different if it's what's best for you. But like I said, drinking hot teas with your before and after your meals, maybe even during. If again, with hot teas, actually it does help. Like if it's ginger tea, but nothing that's gonna like do the opposite of what your stomach needs to do, which is like no cold drinks, in my opinion. Or not that many. So yeah, so this is really going to help you take that time to just like process your food, let your brain, let let your brain know, like, okay, we've had enough, or oh, I can eat a little more. And it's really going to help with that tug and pull, or like that, like, making sure you're not overeating or undereating, because that also can happen. And looking at your plate from a just like, okay, making sure you have a proteins, okay, so beans, whatever, making sure you have your set of carbs, your greens, right, whatever that might be, your sweet potato, and then your fat, so an avocado or some nice olive oil drizzled over everything, like, you know what I mean? So just like keeping it very basic. Don't worry about counting calories and stuff like that and being super over obsessive about that shit unless you want to, or unless that makes you feel better, like just keeping track still, then go ahead by all means. Because that works for some people, but just to keep it really simple, just making sure that you have a nice balance of things on your plate and a good portion. Try not to put too much on your plate. Make it look colorful as possible, and don't feel afraid to treat yourself too, guys. Don't feel afraid to like add a little bit of bread. Your gluten-free bread. Or eating a little bit of dessert, or just some dessert afterwards. Even if you want to get 2 slices, okay, of something, it's fine. Again, like as long as your body is okay with it, like as in you're not overeating, okay, because we want to heal our relationship with food and not see it as something that's like going to kill everything we work so hard for. Because it's first of all, it doesn't do it. It's not how it works, okay? Like you're way stronger than that. Like come on, have more faith in your body. Like it's still gonna look good after 3 days of eating one slice of apple pie. you know, um, so trusting your body, just allowing your body to let you know, I want this, I don't want that, this is enough, that's not enough. Like, so that's that when it comes to eating, right? And then food itself. So a lot of us don't have a vegan family. Shout out to those that do. That must be so fucking cool. Or but yeah, this is times where you can like ask for help too. Like, see who wants to help you in the kitchen. Like, hey, who else is interested in like trying my meals today, or like would like to try some things? Let's cook it together. Let's like, it's a great time to bond with people in your life that are going to join you um, in ways that can even educate them on veganism and stuff like that. And so yeah, so cooking meals together, it's like having somebody help you. Ask for help. Like, hey mom, can you help me make this? So we can have it on the dinner table for everyone, or just for me. Like, just ask for help, guys. If you need it. Unless you know that you're not gonna get it, then I totally understand. Or you rather do it yourself because you don't want to cross contamination and stuff. But yeah, so when it comes to those things as well, like sometimes you might have to cook your food and bring it in, bring it to your family's house and stuff. And who cares? Okay, everybody gets. From what I know, most people have an oven and and a stove. Don't use microwaves. Um, so it's okay. Like, you're good. You can bring your own food. Prepare your own food. Okay. I know I've had to do this plenty of times. Don't feel ashamed to go rolling in there with some Tupperware. Okay, with your little lunchbox filled with vegan food. Okay. You show up with pride. Okay. So prepare your food ahead of time. Ask what they're going to be having ahead of time at the dinner table, and see if there's anything you can eat, and if there's not, and again, make your food. Just keep doing what you've been doing and bring it over. It may not be the most funnest thing to do or pleasant thing to do, or desirable thing to do, but at the same time, we just gotta make sure we're checking in with ourselves. And don't feel afraid to make yourself some nice little vegan treats too. Like, it doesn't have to be super like, because like I'm sure you might get a little, maybe. But I'm making all these experiences valid. You might get a little like, oh my gosh, like, because you see that there's a freaking plate of cookies and like everybody's eating cookies. So bring your own cookies, make your own cookies, your own vegan cookies, and bring them. And yeah, again, or again, make this like a more bonding time. Like, bring your stuff and ask whoever house you're going over, you can use their kitchen if if you could cook there. I know I did that for Thanksgiving. Like, I made like cauliflower wings. This was like a year, I don't remember what year it was. And then I made like carrot ginger soup. And I made it like in my mom's kitchen while they were making their own stuff. So it was a great bonding experience, and it was just great to just like be cooking together and just doing my own thing, and they're doing their own thing. And again, not all of us have family that is very accepting and is very. I mean, even when my family is accepting, the jokes are annoying. I know they can get annoying and they can get redundant, and they can sometimes really impact the way we feel, if our family isn't as supportive. It can really put us down. So this is the next topic I wanted to get to is, drawing boundaries. I just wanted to make sure that I did talk about everything with it when it comes to food. Hold on. It's like my mind bounces off into so many things, and I'm just like, hold on. Let me make sure I get everything out. So for the food, yeah, so bring your own food, prepare it with your fam bam. Make sure that you're also, creating recipes or making things that are going to fulfill you, make you feel good too. Don't be afraid to indulge. Um, and yeah, because like I said, if you pair that with maybe like taking a walk afterwards, you can feel better. You're gonna feel better. Even if you do tend to even if you do slip up and overeat a little bit, just literally take a walk. Go outside and walk, and that's gonna help you feel so much better. Instead of just sitting there and just thinking about how you messed up, and it's just spiraling, which is unnecessary. It doesn't really do anything for us. Besides, just put us down more. So yeah, so that's basically it with that. There's not much we can do. Or you could eat at your own house before going over your family's house, and do that as well. That way you don't have to worry about it, about bringing anything, washing anything. And also don't let the excuses get in your way, guys. Again, it's not the funnest thing to do to bring your own food and to maybe have to cook it when everybody else is getting help cooking their own food and you're over here by yourself. Like, it's not the most fun, but again, it's what we gotta do. It's what we gotta do. And it's better to just accept it and to enjoy every minute of it, or make it somewhat enjoyable, or just remember why you're doing what you're doing, and that like why you're vegan in the first place, and really like honoring your beliefs and honoring your journey and how hard you work, and honoring that to yourself, and knowing that you deserve that for yourself. Like, do what you got to do. Like, that's the best advice I can give, is just do what you got to do. Trust me, like, my family, like, I had my aunt asking me, like, "Oh, can I try your wings, like your cauliflower wings?" And so they get curious, and little by little, at least in my own household, because trust me, I've heard so many, like, this has been a journey I've been on for like 6 years. Like, I've heard so many things. Like, I'm sure you all have too. Like, just so many jokes and things and unnecessary like shit. And so it comes to a point where you just like laugh at it, or you just numb it, like, or not numb it, never numb it, but you know what I mean. It just becomes like something that just bounces off you after a while, because it's just like, it doesn't really do anything. Then the day you eating good, and then they end up getting curious. So you end up winning because your food's so bomb. Our food is so bomb. So yeah. So that's that. And so when it comes to just on a more personal level, when it comes to family stuff and holidays, in general, boundaries are huge, guys. Drawing boundaries is everything. Okay, making sure you're drawing your boundaries. So if jokes and your family's energy is not supportive and it's just draining more than anything, set your boundaries. Be like, you know what? Those jokes hurt my feelings. I don't really want to hear them. I'm honestly really tired of it. Like, if you're not going to say anything nice, just don't say anything at all. Like, I'm not here dissing your food. I hope you're not. I mean, at the end of the day, we have our beliefs, but, you don't want to say, you don't want to do what, you don't want to treat others how you want to make sure you treat others how you want to be treated. It's super cliche, but super real. So drawing those boundaries, like, I've had enough. I don't want to hear it, or laugh with them, or just like, trust me, I've been through it so many times, so I understand. It can get frustrating. But guys, stay strong. Remember who you are. Stay true, authentic to it. Stay authentic to yourself. Who you are is more powerful and important than whatever anybody has to say and think. Like, people are gonna judge anyway. They're gonna judge anyway. Like, that's just truth. So might as well own it. No need to fight. No need to prove yourself. Okay, don't need. No. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. And if it is a toxic environment, guys, don't be afraid to leave. I'm telling you. Everyone that's family is blood, if you know what I mean. Or, yeah, it goes something like that. So draw your boundaries. If you have to leave, leave. Okay? Your peace is way more important than anything else. And especially if, like, this is the one time you're off work and it's the last thing you want to do is, like, just go home and just have fun with yourself and your lover or your friend or your cat or whatever, and just enjoy yourself and stay away from the toxicity, because that's not what it's about. It's not what it's about. So again, respect your boundaries, honor your boundaries by sticking to what you say. And if they get disrespected, or if they just don't seem to respect them, then do what you gotta do. Okay, protect your peace always. And just make it clear, guys. Communicate. Just communicate and be vulnerable. Don't be afraid. Or be afraid, because it's a scary thing for a lot of us. Be afraid, but, you know, let them know how you feel and how this is just not the vibe. Like, you know, like, I don't appreciate those jokes. They're really not funny. This is my lifestyle, and I really would appreciate it if you just don't say anything about it. Let me live my life. I'm gonna live my life anyway. So, you know, so I just would appreciate it, because I don't, honestly, like, I don't want to leave. I don't want, you know, just doing that. So I think that's really, really big, my loves. So yeah, as you can tell, it's just really like owning your power and your journey when it comes to holidays and things like that, and making sure you are making those things work around your life and not you around those things, like those events and those, you know, making sure that, again, like, organization is key, prioritizing is key, preparation is key, surrendering is key too, being adaptable, detachment is key, uh, setting your boundaries is key, you know, and also learning just how to have fun in it. And have fun. The moment you stop having fun, or just like you can't enjoy, you know, something like a holiday, then that's when it's like, yeah, no, something needs to change. Because, again, these are times where we all want to be able to like kick back and like feel so free, right? And not have food, or not allow food, or our relationship with food, or fitness, or family. Just keep saying that. Just keep blocking us from the goddesses that we are. You know, we want to be able to set boundaries wherever they need to be, and adapt in ways that we need to adapt, and enjoy it. And like I said, like, ask for help. Ask, you know, or tell your family, like, I'd really appreciate it if you guys made me like a vegan dish, or if you guys contributed to a vegan dish, you know, or, hey mom, can you make me this, or, you know, at least, like, my mom, like, she's even though, like, she's not vegan or anything, like, she's always been like, I don't know what to make you, but, you know, here are beans. And I would just always appreciated it. Like, yes, I'm getting my frijoles, like, you know, and yeah, so just know you're not missing out on anything, guys. At the end of the day, it's also something that I tell myself, like, I'm not missing out on anything at the end of the day. So yeah, own your journey, my loves. I hope that helps in any way, like I always say. And let me know if you guys have any questions. And just, this is the best time to look at our whole YouTube channel and just like refresh your mind on different mindset techniques and different things we've talked about over the past month, some grounding meditations, things like that, to get you through these times, or to get you more prepared to face what you gotta face, or just coming into this more balanced state of mind and being. So, you know, it's a really great time to refresh your mind, go back and watch some videos, take some notes. Remember, you are in control of your life, of yourself, right? And that's all that matters. And that's all you need to worry about. And you'll find out that you don't have to worry much when all you have to do is be accountable and responsible for your own self and honor your own boundaries. Okay. Mwah.